Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darylyn and today we're gonna do a quick and dirty top 5 chillest anthurium based on my opinion and my experience. And I'm gonna show you some cool plants. Now, these are great for beginners. These are also great for people who are maybe more experienced but just want something that's gonna look really good and be pretty low maintenance and not like a mystery to figure out how to take care of. These all are growing in my house in ambient conditions and they all respond really well to just kind of like regular run-of-the-mill anthurium care. Pretty forgiving, you know, if I don't water them quite when they need to be watered, and I definitely recommend them as great plants to start trying the anthurium genus with. So let's get into it. The first plant that I have for you today is the Anthurium clarinervium. All right, so the Anthurium clarinervium. So like this really is like one of the most like reliably popular anthurium out there. And it's, you know, it's for a good reason. Like it's beautiful, which is always a plus, but it's also like a pretty chill anthurium. So these are from the Chiapas region of Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula, which is not the same origin as most popular anthurium, which are from the Amazon basin, but these are actually primarily terrestrial in their native habitat. And so as you see, I have it in an aeroid mix, which I normally keep most of my plants in pond. These are just really great, like low-key plants. They do love water. And they do really need like high quality water. Like you definitely need to give them pH balanced filtered water at the minimum. Heavy feeders, but they're great growers. Only thing about them I don't love is that they bloom constantly. And so I used to just let them bloom, but they started like dripping sap all over everything and it was just getting like sticky. So I started cutting the blooms off, but you can let them bloom if you want. Because they're not genetically like as close to a lot of other anthurium, there's not a ton of things you can hybridize them with. So if you want to get into anthurium breeding, this is probably not a good choice. But for somebody that wants a super showy, stunning anthurium that's gonna be a little bit forgiving and for the most part give you nothing but love, this is a good one. It's a good one to start. You know, anthurium, it's kind of a little bit dicey to call any of them like easy, because there really is like a minimum level of care that you have to like commit to if you're gonna keep anthurium looking nice. You know, these are all like pretty laid back and chill. So if you're willing to put in the minimum amount of effort that anthurium need, this one will never let you down. All right, so next on the list, we have Glossy Anthurium. Most Glossy Anthurium. In general, more glossy anthurium rather than velvet anthurium, they tend to be a lot hardier and a lot easier. And this is cool because you kind of have a lot of options, a lot of things to choose from. They generally tend to handle pests better and handle lower humidity better and handle, you know, like inconsistencies in watering, just pretty much handle anything and everything better. This is an Anthurium Gigi, which is, as you can see, very beautiful, very big, very dark, big ears, has a lot of really, you know, popular anthurium features. And this bad boy lives in my ambient humidity and does just fine in Lechuza Pond. And I need to repot it and it's being very patient with me. So this is a really good choice. Other choices, just like the kind of run-of-the-mill glossy leaf Anthurium veitchii, I've found to be very forgiving, super slow growing, but mine is an aeroid mix and it's trucking along, doing all right. Another one that I have that's a good example is Anthurium lenticilla malobum. That plant is super chill. It is in pond, in ambient conditions, 65 degrees. In the wintertime, 65% humidity year-round for the most part. Doesn't flinch. So if you are looking for something that is going to be really forgiving and, you know, you're not like super dead set on like velvety with veins, pick a glossy one. There's lots of options and they're for the most part a lot more resilient and forgiving than a lot of the like super fancy velvety dark ones are. All right, so next up is Anthurium Magnificum, and you know, pretty much any of their accompanying hybrids. Anthurium Magnificum are so resilient. They're so forgiving. They'll grow in pretty much any substrate you prefer. They can tolerate drying out a little bit. They can tolerate full semi-hydro. And they also get really big really quickly, which is fun. I really like them. I do wish that they grew a little faster, but for the most part, they're really forgiving. Their leaves don't get like nasty and crispy super quickly, which I really, really like. This one is full Magnificum. You can tell because of the very square petioles, but there are a number of different forms of Magnificum to choose from. So you can like kind of get a little bit more tailored to your own taste. So I think this is the green form Anthurium, like the traditional form. There's also a Magnificum silver. There's a Magnificum green form or Magnificum verde. That's a little bit lighter color where the veins aren't as pronounced. And I do also believe there's like a darker form. But then another one that, you know, is also great too is Magnificum hybrids. This is a Crystallinum X Magnificum, and it is even more resilient and much faster growing than the full Magnificum. I highly, highly, highly recommend both, but this one I think is probably better, the hybrid, the Crystal Mag, just because it grows faster. Both are really, really, really good choices. They're both, you know, showy leaves and pretty chill for the most part. I'd keep mine in pond because that's like my preferred method, but I think that both of them would be fine in leca or in an aeroid mix if you prefer that, if you're more comfortable with that. So highly, highly, highly recommend. I mean, like nothing beats these like big old veins and, you know, big hearts. So it's a great, great, great choice if you're looking for something like that. Let me grab this hybrid. I really want to show you like just how big this plant is. Like if you are looking for something that can get like really big, an Anthurium Magnificum X Crystallinum is a great choice. But even if you're a beginner, like I think that this would be completely fine. They're so resilient and they look beautiful. Excellent, 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 excellent choice. This, I would say, yeah, the Crystal Mag hybrid also is pretty tolerant of me accidentally letting its reservoir dry out. So if you are somebody that like you need a little bit of leeway about watering, Magnificum Crystal Mag, probably a good choice. All right, so next up we have the incomparable Anthurium Tarfolium. Now, oh, don't look at that. The Anthurium Tarfolium. So if you are kind of new to Anthurium, this is what we in the hobby like to officially call a longboy, aka an Anthurium that has like really long, narrow leaves. And there's a number of plants that kind of fall into the longboy category. Queen Anthurium kind of falls in there, but that plant is 100% not on this list. Of the longboys, I would say the Tarfolium has the reputation of being the easiest. This plant is bulletproof. It's so easy. It's literally just in sphagnum moss and it's been there for a really long time. It's really, really, really tolerant of being underwatered. And I think part of it is it's like not velvet and leaves are really like succulent. So this is a good choice. Honestly, like I think this is a great choice for a first Anthurium. Yeah, it also like I do get away with giving it maybe like less than perfect water, like just filtered water. Sometimes I don't pH balance it. It's doing good. It's really doing good. So these plants are pretty difficult to mess up. One thing is that like it's growing all in one direction like this. It's really heavy. So sometimes it falls off the shelf, which that's why it's in this big heavy wooden planter now because it was just getting too heavy. But yeah, no, these are great. Like everything that you want in a plant, like in general. Like this, honestly, I think this plant is about as difficult to take care of as a pothos. This might honestly be like the overall #1 pick for chillest Anthurium. Like I give it basically no attention except, you know, water it. And it's always been really forgiving. It's really tolerant of just unideal conditions, light fluctuations, temperature fluctuations, being underwatered, you know, not being given enough fertilizer. It just vibes. It does, honestly, and it's just so different looking. Like, it doesn't look like most like run-of-the-mill houseplants. So if that's something that you want to add to your collection, this is a good one. But anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope you have a good one. Bye.